Good morning, everyone, and thank you for attending the A-Tec Ambulance Virtual Job Fair event. I would like to introduce you to Jessica. Jessica will tell you about her company, job openings, and how to go about applying for those openings and educational opportunities. Jessica, are you available to present?
Yes, I am. Thank you very much for the introduction. My name is Jessica Parr. I am a recruiter with A-Tec Ambulance. A-Tec has been around for about 36 years. We are a very high integrity private ambulance company. We primarily source or serve our communities within hospitals and nursing homes. We do some residential, but primarily we are interfacility. So we provide full benefits package, even including down to pet insurance. We currently are hiring EMTs, paramedics, and critical care medics, and some nurses, pre-hospital care nurses. If you join this webinar today or this interview process today for learning to get into EMS, we offer an EMT class that runs about 12 weeks long. We do 3 days a week at this time. It'll be evening shifts. Our next one, it's about 4 hours. So it is very accessible to you. It's in Crystal Lake right now. We do offer where you can work with us as paratransit. And paratransit is a non-medical transport. That way you can get a little bit of hands-on experience while you're in class. And if you are working with us, there's a huge discount for that, which then incorporates with you working for us for 6 months, and we completely balance it back out to your class being for free. So it would cost about $500 if you're working with us, $1,000 if you're not. And then there are discounts possible for veterans, early registration, fire department if you are a cadet at the time. We do break it up into payments to make it a more affordable option for everyone to attend. Anyone who'd be interested in that can come to our website and put in a simple questionnaire, and it comes straight to me, where I will then reach out to you to discuss it more on a one-to-one. Possibility of not necessarily this class, like I said, every 12 weeks. This next one would be starting in August and ending around Halloween. So by November, you'd be on an ambulance. Our pay rates start out about $18 an hour for EMTs. And while you're working with us on the paratransit, it's about 15, give or take if you have experience. I'm sorry, I kind of lost my train of thought. We do sponsor for EMTs if you're already licensed. We sponsor for paramedic, and we sponsor paramedics to go to critical care classes. I don't know if I moved a little bit too fast for anybody. If anybody has any questions, I know we're kind of on a tight time frame, but we have locations from Crystal Lake into DeKalb County at Sycamore, Cortland, Sandwich. We have Waukegan, we have Elgin, Addison, and Chicago. All of our classroom is only in Crystal Lake at this time. We are looking to expand on that. We are a growing company, and yeah, I think that's a little bit about all of us. And if I'd love to answer any more questions or in depth, anybody can reach out to me for more questions. For personal one-to-one answers, we're an open book. Our entire theory right now is that our people make the difference, and we're really looking for people who want to move forward in the EMS career field, as we've noticed a decline in that since COVID began. So I'm opening
Awesome.
to any questions.
Awesome information. Thank you for sharing that, Jessica. And as Jessica already kind of stated, if you do have any questions for her regarding any opportunities at A-Tec Ambulance, feel free to enter those questions into the chat. Of course, we will go ahead and get those answered for you. Jessica, in the meantime, I do have some questions for you that I'd like to go ahead and ask, if that's okay with you.
Absolutely, ask away.
Excellent. So the first question I do have for you, Jessica, is, are there any sort of minimum educational requirements that anyone would need to possess to apply for the positions that you covered here today?
Good question. So we do require a high school diploma for the paratransit and to register for EMT class, and a valid driver's license that's in good standing. As EMTs, you are required to have at least your IDPH, your Illinois license, but nationally registered people, they can just basically apply for Illinois, and Illinois was applied right away. So could be national, could be Illinois. We do have a CPR in-house. It is a BLS CPR class. We provide that to you, so it's not required for you to already have it. An escalation up, paramedic and critical care nurses. For paramedic, you'd obviously have to have your paramedic license as well, and nurses have to be at least in a ER or critical care unit, ICU, for 1 year before we would help them obtain their pre-hospital care nursing license.
Excellent. Thank you for sharing that information, Jessica. Jessica, the next question I do have for you is one that I still think is relevant, and it does get asked on our events, especially the ones that are related to kind of the healthcare field, if you will. So the question is, how are you or the organization, how are they handling COVID safety precautions? And kind of what does the business look like in the wake of that?
So we've actually been growing with a wonderful staff. We are following guidelines. We do not require vaccinations at this time. It is still optional. We believe everybody should still have that choice. We do provide the testing to keep us, legally standing. But we do not request that you guys pay for that yourselves. We pay for that. We cover it. We do provide PPE as necessary as on the ambulance. Occasionally, you still do have COVID patients. So all of your isolation gear is available to you on provided. Other than that, I mean, we just kind of follow along, but we've been doing very well. We have a good standing. Our classrooms have been getting filled up with new students who are realizing that they would really like to be a part of it. And not to lie, I mean, a lot of people really love 12 and 24-hour shifts. I mean, you work 2 days a week, you have built-in overtime, and you're done for the week.
That's excellent. And that's actually kind of going to lead into the next question that I was going to ask you, which was if you could elaborate a little bit more on the shift structure that's expected for folks that will be obviously working for A-Tec.
Absolutely. So we work in 12s or 24s, or 24/48 is what they call it. So 12-hour shifts, 3 days a week, which is still full time. You get all of your benefits. We also do 24-hour shifts, could be set days, could be a rotation where you're on for 24 hours and off for 48 hours. That also builds in more overtime as needed. It is not required for overtime. You can really choose. We are very adaptable for school schedules to fit around school schedules. And we do offer occasional 10-hour shifts as overtime as well. As like if we realize that we are having a busy day, we want to call in extra people. It's kind of a simple shift. There are overnight shifts and daytime shifts. Overnight definitely pays $1 more an hour. And we also have bonuses. Our bonus comes every 6 months, and it's $500 Visa gift card for just having perfect attendance. Thank you for coming. Thank you for being dedicated. So we just want to kind of show a little bit of appreciation for that.
Awesome. Thank you for sharing that, Jessica. And Jessica, the next question that I do have for you, obviously, because we're staying on the topic of it being in the healthcare field, another question that I do get quite frequently on all my events, not just the healthcare oriented ones, if you will, is would folks that might have a minor, infraction, misdemeanors on their record, would they be excluded from being able to apply for these opportunities? I know it is healthcare, so sometimes it can be a little bit dicey.
It is on a basis of individual. Like there's some that are completely ruled out by the state of Illinois. Some are completely ruled out by national, usually weapons charges, drug distribution charges. Nationally, they won't recognize you. They won't let you complete. But there are ways, excuse me, to provide questions to the state to kind of have them reassess it to see if they would allow it or not. But it doesn't completely ban you from it, depending on what the charge is for. Violence is usually a huge, drop the ball. Like they probably won't allow it to go through, even if you did apply for, special consideration. But not everything counts against you.
Completely understand. Thank you for sharing that, Jessica.
Mhm.
Next question I do have for you is, how can a candidate kind of stand out and maybe secure an interview if there's obviously this is assuming that they're qualified and meet those minimum qualifications that you already covered here today? Is there anything that you suggest maybe they highlight in a resume, maybe enter into an application, maybe during a screening or initial screening call, something that they mention, anything like that?
I honestly speak with absolutely everyone who has questions. I walk anybody through the process, whether we're the right company for them or not is up to them. We truly are just an open book. We want to guide everybody back into EMS. It's really kind of a struggling field right now where We have been seeing increased pay rates going up. It's been something that people used to talk about, not making much money on the ambulance, even in fire departments. But we're on the rise. We are really in need. So honestly, I speak to everyone. I'll walk anybody through it. I can actually even walk through it if they do have charges. I can kind of look it up and see if we even have a shot in the park. Um, but realistically, I mean, as long as you're showing dedication to others, I mean, if you are in this field, it's usually for the right reasons. You want to see other people succeed. You want to support them. It's a team effort. You have your partner and you really have to rely on them too and trust them to do the right thing alongside of you. So realistically, it's not necessarily what you're putting on your resume. It's just showing that, you actually have the dedication that you want to see others succeed. You want to help them in their time of need. You want to be that one when someone is struggling to give them that support. Because sometimes we're not only there for the actual patient, sometimes we are there even just to calm family members down around them. We're doing a lot more than just giving care to the patient themselves.
Awesome information. Thank you for sharing that, Jessica. And Jessica kind of leads into the next question then, and that is, how can applicants go about getting their questions answered? Is the best way to reach out to you obviously directly? If so, what's the best means of contacting you for folks that might be interested?
Absolutely. You can email me. It's recruiting@atecambulance.com. There's no dashes, no nothing, just straight recruiting at A-Tec Ambulance. Or my phone number, if anybody would like to write down, I can put it in this message here to contact me directly. And I am open to text messages and phone calls. I love to just, be able to reach out and help anybody who's looking for a little bit of guidance. I know that I may not have been able to address everything from what our classrooms hold with being very hands-on. You have different medics and EMTs that even step in and pretend to be patients to give you guys like a real life feel for it. And with a little bit of guidance from our 3 different educators as well. You can reach out on our website as well. There's a tab for education. It's a quick questionnaire, basically just how do I contact you? And I reach out usually same day or day after you put in that inquisition. We do have an application process on there as well, but you can't apply as an EMT without having an EMT license. It will not let you complete the application, but there is a paratransit application on there. And again, once that paratransit application comes in, it'll come straight to me as well.
Excellent. Thank you for that, Jessica. Jessica, the last question that I do have for you today um, is just kind of one that I like to ask at the conclusion of all my events, and that is, what are the opportunities for advancement at A-Tec Ambulance? And are there maybe any success stories that you would like to share with folks that might be tuning in?
Absolutely. A-Tech, we want to see you grow. We want to see you hit all of your targets, whether that be in nursing school or you're trying to become a doctor. We all need patient care hours. So we do support everybody who is growing. If you start with us as paratransit, we'll help you through EMT school. While in EMT, we will sponsor you to go to paramedic school. While you're a paramedic, we will even pay for and sponsor you to become a critical care paramedic. Once you're in the critical care paramedic, you're more top tier. But if you do go back for nursing and you'd want to continue into a pre-hospital care nurse, we support that as well. We have lots of people in our company that have made the actual steps from each individual, and some of them are now supervisors and our station managers. We have shift commanders. Actually, one of our owners right now started out as one of our maintenance technicians doing oil changes. So he has slowly grown with our company over the years, and he had a chance to take hold of the company, and here we are. He's a wonderful guy who really believes in um, recognition of the employee and retention of the employee as well. So it is pretty easy to be able to gain access to really kind of grow your career if you are looking to stay in EMS.
Awesome. Thank you, Jessica. And Jessica, of course, at this time, we're going to kind of begin the wrap up of today's session, but I do want to turn things back over to you to give folks just kind of a concluding statement or summary remarks from your session here today, just to allow you to kind of give folks an idea of maybe a takeaway that they should have about A-Tec Ambulance before they go ahead and submit those applications.
Absolutely. A-Tec Ambulance is a very high integrity company. We really put our employees first. It's very rare when it comes into private ambulances. We also have actual stations and quarters. We try to run more like a firehouse than we would a normal private ambulance company. We enjoy seeing everybody succeed. We don't want to keep you where you are. We want to see you growing up. We want to see you getting into those higher levels that you want to hit, those targets you're trying to get to. So we provide what we can and we support you when we can. And if some people are not really looking for us specifically, then that's okay. We'll still like to help them along.
Awesome. Thank you so much for joining us today, Jessica. Of course, carving time out of your schedule to meet with us and share the information that you did today. A couple of
Absolutely.
things that I want to go ahead and note here. My apologies for that, Jessica, but a few things I want to go ahead and note here for the folks that are tuning in is, again, the session has been recorded. So if there's anything that you need to go back and review prior to filling out those applications for A-Tec ambulance, again, I will be making the recording available on the Illinois WorkNet YouTube channel under the virtual job fairs playlist within 48 hours of the conclusion of this event. And then additionally as well, if you registered for this event, we went ahead, obviously, and created a registration form. We'll be submitting all that information over to A-Tec Ambulance as well. So they will have your contact information. Obviously, Jessica might reach out to you directly with that contact information. So please just be on the lookout for that. And then the last thing that I want to note here is it does look like Jessica has placed both her email and her phone number in the chat. So if you need to jot that down, ask any questions, feel free to do so as well. Jessica, again, I'd like to thank you for joining us today. Thank you for sharing all the information regarding A-Tec. I hope you have a wonderful day.
Thank you, everybody, for joining and even showing interest in EMS. Have a wonderful day.
As well.